Hi, welcome to Sacral video. Hope you've been enjoying your root chakra working. You can use the root chakra before you do this video if you want, and then you can start to build it up step by step each month. But always, again, make sure that you do your grounding and protection before you do this video. So we're going to go straight into it, and we're going to work up from our root into our sacral again. So if you just bend your knees, take your feet just a bit more than hip width apart. So if you imagine your root is opening downwards like a flower, you're just going to breathe in and swing your arms and your pelvis forward and out. With your mouth open. So imagine your pelvis is like a bowl and it's rocking forward and back, opening. You can also lift your chin to open your throat. And then coming back to more of a squeeze into your pelvis. So squeezing up through your perineum, and you can squeeze your bum cheeks and your belly button in. And have a shake. Letting go through your whole body. So you're using your hands to sway side to side. Feeling the electricity from your fingertips so that there's life into every part of your body. Following your hands. Just breathing at your own speed. Making it smaller and smaller. Opening a clear channel from your root into the womb of the earth. Clearing a path so that your body can clearly connect into the body of the earth. And making it a bit bigger, and again still following your hands. Let your hair and your neck be free. Back to your heart. again, coming back to your pelvis and shaking. So our sacral chakra is connected with emotions and water. So if you think about how water flows, whether it's in the sea or it's a tiny trickle, it's always moving unless it's becoming blocked by obstacles in the way. And it will gradually begin to wind its way through and find a path and maybe split off into different particles again, or little streams of water, or maybe it gets stuck and becomes stagnant. But it fills the space that contains it in whatever shape that may be. So our sacral is connected more with the feminine and with the watery element. And it's also very connected with our throat and our third eye as well. So if you think of your expression, so through your voice, through your communication, but also your expression with your sensuality and your sexuality and your creativity, it's very much connected. So the more that we can free up energy in our pelvic area, in our womb, in our ovaries, the more we can free up our creativity into every aspect of our life, and also the more that we can speak our truth and express ourselves effectively. So the sacral is always a big one for women, but it's also for men as well, and the way that we're made to feel that we should not show ourselves completely, and especially in our sensuality, how we're conditioned as we're growing up to be a good girl, but then the media is showing us all of these other things that we should be and look like as well. So we get this confusion in our body, and we begin to close that down. So sacral is really about moving into your flow and into your power. And if you think of your hips, they can move in lots of different directions, side to side, forwards and back, up and down and around. So we've got a lot of movements that we can play with here and use them to build up a kind of power bank of energy, which can then move up through our whole body. So if you bring your hands onto your womb space and our ovaries, we can just warm them up a little bit. And taking a figure of 8 across. And into our kidneys. Coming back again. So we're going to begin to circle. And taking it really slowly so that you can feel every part of the movement. And see if you can feel into making your circle completely whole. Breathing in and out through your mouth. So if you can visualize around this whole area and feel into any places where there are connections or hooks between you and other people, particularly people that you've had relationships with. Where are the places that you are still attached to each other, and maybe one of you is drawing energy still from the other? And as you circle your hips round, if you imagine that any of these connections that are there, your hips are sharp and they're cutting through as they move. And all of these hooks and kind of tentacles are just falling away back to the earth. It may be that you come to a part where you feel there's something that's a bit stuck and you need to spend a bit more time there. And especially pay attention to the back, because it's easier to be aware and see at the front and the sides, but the back we aren't so aware of always. So if there's that person that you often think about or dream about, and you're wondering why, it may be because he or she is still connected into you. And allow any sounds or maybe words, it might be the name of a person, it might be a situation. So if you can say that out loud, it also helps to release more deeply and more clearly. Using your breath and any sounds to help that release as well. Maybe a scream, it might be laughter. And when you feel that you have done that enough and you're coming to a place where things are releasing, but maybe there's kind of bits still nearer to your body, again using your hands and the shaking to kind of settle things down, because you don't want to leave these connections open. So you're using your hands to seal them up and let go of anything that's still hanging around. And you can keep repeating this as long as you need to. And then again, back to your circles. This time it might be in a different direction. And smoothing over and visualizing a golden, orangey, pinky light. It's coming from your hips. And it's sealing in just your energy, nobody else's. And then we're going to begin to weave our hips in an 8 from down to up. And the more that you bend your knees with this, the bigger movement you'll be able to get. And you really squeeze in and up. And containing that energy with your hands. If you imagine that this orange light is weaving across from side to side, from red to orange, from your root up into the base of your spine. And with your breath, keep moving and breathing together, but so there's no gap between the breath, so it's a constant flow. And as you breathe like that, feel the energy becoming stronger and building more in the base of your spine and in the center of your womb. And this can also be your womb space. If you've had surgery and you haven't got a physical womb there, still you have the etheric imprint of it. So each time you draw your hips over and in, it's like you're diving deeper into the core of you. If you imagine there are many, many layers, and we're trying to get into the root of our sacral. Often when I feel like I'm at the original point of an issue or a pattern for a particular chakra, it begins to feel like it's kind of sticky, like tar, because we've got all these layers of everyday things, surface issues that are happening, which are very good at distracting us from what we really should be doing. So once we get through these first layers, we begin to get into more of these kind of sticky patterns, ancestral patterns, past life experiences and patterns that we're carrying forward. And the way that I see it is, if we can get to the root of those, it will have a ripple effect through to this point in time. So if you close your eyes and visualize that you're dropping through these layers, and asking your womb to speak to you about any patterns that you're carrying. This may be in relationships, maybe in terms of the work that you want to do. If you feel like you can't access your creativity, or you get to a point with projects and then you give up. Where is that point of origin? And as you get deeper, making this movement smaller and quicker so that you can get into the nitty-gritty, really fine-tuning your pathway within. Keep breathing. And when you get to a point that you feel is where you need to stop at this moment, come to that place, and then holding the front and back of your sacral, beginning to stroke up from root to sacral. Imagining that you have these flames and you're fanning them to build upwards and outwards. What is the sound that will encourage that growth and will spark the seeds of creativity within your ovaries? And again, coming back to your ovary space. And imagine sparks of electricity firing between. Can you see the connection between the root cause and where you're feeling blocked or stuck in your creative ventures? And how can you bring the two together into some kind of harmony? Again, weaving from left to right, right to left, activating your ovaries. And then continuing this 8, following your hands, taking your attention completely to one palm and then the other, one palm and the other, and feeling into which palm wants to lead you. Trusting that your body knows the direction that she needs to turn in right now. Taking your attention to that palm and the other hand dropping down to connect to the earth, and our upper hand connecting to the stars and the universe. And slowly beginning to turn in that direction. Very slowly, taking your time with absolute presence to your palm. And seeing through your palm as a mirror and a window into your womb space. Keep turning as I'm talking. So you can use the palm of your hand as a portal into the central point of your womb. As you're beginning to spin and creating a vortex of energy that's moving up and down through your body simultaneously. If at any time you need to stop, come down to the floor and lie on your belly with your third eye also touching the ground. And breathe and let go of any dizziness or chaos that's coming up in your body. You can always get up again and continue to turn. And allow the spinning to take you deeply inside. Your body is holding all the answers to the questions that you seek. Breathing, becoming aware of your whole self. And when you're ready, coming back, lying down on the floor, on your belly, just taking a few moments to connect to the earth and breathe. If you feel really dizzy, you can run your wrists and your feet under the cold tap, and this will also bring you back down to earth as well. When you're ready, coming back to your center, and now we begin to weave our hips forwards. So we're twisting and bringing them round and in, twisting and round and in. With our breath, this movement is massaging our kidneys, our power centers, if you think of them like battery packs. And we're bringing that energy from the kidneys round into our ovaries to spark and strengthen and activate our creative seeds. From the kidneys to the ovaries, and twisting. And you're taking that energy into the central point of you. You can also use your head. So your whole body is following from womb to heart to third eye. Any time that you get stuck for ideas or you feel a bit blocked, you can do this movement to help activate your creation. And these are also really brilliant for if you get period pain or lower backache as well. Back to your center. Let me know how you get on with this on the Facebook group, and I'll be posting some questions for you to journal about as well. Remember to take your photo again this month, and keep journaling about your dreams and what's coming up for you and the insights that you're having. And I'll see you next month, and we'll also be doing a live call as well, so I'll be letting you know the date for that. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.